think every real horror fan has had at least one experience of feeling out of place when compared with quote-unquote mainstream society, but I don't think there's ever really been a good attempt to understand why it is that people like horror. Like, most horror fans are generally normal people who have pretty good reasons for enjoying horror, but what are those reasons? Like, the real reasons, not the ones that they learn to tell people to make them leave them alone. That's what our podcast is about, interviewing people in the horror business to find out what it is about horror that makes them actually happy. My name's Steve. I'm a bit of a psychology buff, and my co-host is my friend Chris, who's a horror buff. And so far, we've interviewed about 20 people in the biz and just had a lot of fun with it. We're going to continue interviewing more people, but also wanted to share some of the highlights with you guys. We're just going to share some of the fun stuff here. If you want to hear the real meat of the interviews and the conversations, come check us out on Apple, Google, Spotify, or the player on our website. In this set of excerpts, we're going to listen to author R.K. Katic, producer and writer and director Samuel Vainisi, writer and director Dave Jackson, and special effects artist and director Marcus Koch.
Of course, it was strange being the only child at that age with a beard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like the pirate outfit, there's kid costumes that have beards.
Oh no, because as I said, he had the theater quality stuff. I had like an actual glued on false beard, like it was well coiffed and it looked real.
Yeah.
It wasn't just grease paint.
That makes it a little awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be a little weird. Was there a time where you were ever actually terrified of something as a child in reality?
Yes.
Do you want to share it?
Oh, yeah. I'm an open book, guys. You guys ask whatever you want. The answer is going to be yes, I'll share that.
Okay.
When...
Did you kill John F. Kennedy?
No.
There was a lot of hesitation there.
Not myself. Anyway,
this is going to go on your permanent record.
Permanent record.
I've actually considered drawing up a... What?
Go ahead. You were going to say something?
I was going to say I've actually thought about drawing up a false permanent record of my own and hauling it out and telling the kids that I had detention in third grade for pulling on Molly Shannon's pigtails. See? It's permanent. I still have it.
Yes. Right? Make it all official with a U.S. government seal and everything.
And I didn't get a job promotion last year because of this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go real dark with it, you'd be like, Christmas is canceled this year because of my permanent record. They're garnishing my funds.
No, I'm not that cruel.
Yeah,
now,
that's
laying Santa out in the front yard with a shotgun wound. That I could do. But you guys laugh. That's what I did this past Christmas.
What'd you say?
I said, you guys laugh. That's what I did this past Christmas.
Oh, you did?
Mannequin, couple pillows, Santa outfit, 22 shotgun. It was hilarious.
I mean,
hilarious.
Was this for Halloween or for Christmas?
This is for Christmas.
Nice. When it's time to have a talk, what better way to have it than, hey, Santa's dead, so you can stop believing him.
Well, I just think that in another 30, 40 years that my 4-year-old daughter is going to be on one of these podcasts, and that's going to be what she talks about.
Right?
Probably.
So my dad caught mommy kissing Santa Claus.
So he shot him.
How about Halloween as an adult?
It's mostly for the kids. I mean, I enjoy getting, cheap candy in the weeks after, but mostly Halloween is for the kids. But that's because I've been severely limited in what I'm allowed to do as far as Halloween.
Is this a significant other decision?
Well, it's Robert, you can't traumatize the kids just for giggles.
Aww.
Yeah.
But it's so funny, and they'll learn.
Exactly, yeah. It's character building. If a claw swipes them out of the sewer grate, they know not to go down there.
Right.
Yeah, if the bath bombs, that they got in their little goodie bags turn out to make the water turn blood red and froth and throw out steam, they will learn not to trust things given to them by strangers.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We just have fun, and I was the one who I don't like talking really that much, so I'm talking a lot now. But I would do this. I would laugh and play with toys and shit. That was my clown. Whereas my dad, he would do the talking,
the silent weird clown.
Yeah, I'd be laughing and shit. And I loved it.
Nonverbal.
nonverbal, and I'm gonna probably. Well, she doesn't like when I show her horror movies. She just despises them. So I don't think I can actually get her to watch one.
Yeah.
It's really rare. If I make her watch a horror movie, I have to watch like Magic Mike or something. So that's
That's a fair trade.
that's a real thing that happens. So
okay, that kind of falls under horror if you're not into that.
scary, man. It's just really fun. It's weird watching people get slaughtered. It's actually kind of fun.
I'm laughing and finding some enjoyment in how just your voice. You could hear that you were happy when you were saying that.
Because I'm actually thinking about some movies where I'm like remembering deaths, like in Hatchet 1. Like I love Hatchet 1. Oh my god, there's so many great deaths in that movie. Like
that's the one with the head rip, right? Where he just takes
yes.
hold of the upper and the lower jaw and just rip.
Rip. Oh, it's so nice.
So what you're saying here, Steve, is it's good to expose children to good movies with lots of practical effects and gore at a young age, because then that will instill that nostalgic feeling when they see horrifying things later on in life. And
with the caveat that it's a good. How can I say this?
Should the child be willing?
Well,
should we show the child headless?
Not only.
I mean, it depends on double digits ages, or are we talking like 6? Probably.
Will
not
they
6.
understand what he's doing to the heads?
Yes, they should understand.
Excuse me.
It's a great podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Jeepers Creepers.
I knew it. Guilty pleasure.
That's the one that first popped in my head. And I'm like, I've seen that movie so many times. Like, I didn't know if I want to say it though, because it's Victor Salva and shit. But
yeah, that's acceptable. The first one was in the days of innocence when none of us knew he was a piece of
who
shit.
he was. Yeah, that movie still creeps me out to this day. For one scene in particular.
Starting with childhood, what were some of your earliest memories of scary things?
I'm going to pass on that one. No, I'm joking.
Thank you for joining us.
Pass on that one. Pass on that one. Pass.
That was. It's been nice talking to you. Have a good night.
I was apparently when I was. I don't really remember this, but apparently when I was really young, like maybe 3 or 4, I was terrified of gorillas. And I don't really know why, and I'm not now. But
I mean, that's a rational fear. A gorilla could kind of.
I mean, yeah, they're very frightening. But I used to always have dreams that there were gorillas in our backyard, and I think my vague memory, I think it came from overhearing my parents talking about the movie Gorillas in the Mist, and like the title of that alone was enough for my imagination to like run wild and picture all these like terrifying gorillas in the mist.
It's funny you say that, because when you said that was the first thing that came to mind was the phrase Gorillas in the Mist.
So weird. And I think
I thought about that.
Does that movie, or it's based on a real story, I think, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Maybe Diane Fossey.
She got killed by poachers, is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so I think when I was overhearing my parents talking about it, I think they were talking about her getting killed, but I think I just assumed that the gorillas had killed her. So, like, I was picturing, like, gorillas horribly murdering this, Sigourney Weaver. So,
well, it sounds like you got the main gist of the story then. Yeah, that's pretty much
I would get him to go into the DVD shop and I'd give him the money and he'd come out with like a Lucio Fulci film.
Other kids are getting older children or other older people to get them liquor or smoke. So you're like, hey, can you get me some?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, a lot of his films.
You just can't even imagine it, can you?
It's a foreign concept to me. How do you not have Halloween?
It is weird that we haven't latched on to that one. Like, there's nothing else from American culture I'd like to take except Halloween. That's like the one thing I wouldn't mind if we copied.
Like, I understand giving a pass on Easter or Thanksgiving. Like, I'm good on that. Halloween's the fun one.
That would be hilarious if we had Thanksgiving. It would just make absolutely no sense. I kind of like that idea. Like, let's have Thanksgiving in Australia.
So I was thinking, if you're doing Thanksgiving, it should be on the same day as we do it in America, just for the extra surrealness of it.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd enjoy that a lot.
And they definitely still, watch horror movies. Like anytime I'm home for like Christmas or whatever, it's Christmas time and we'll pop on something like, we watched Hell Night this past year, just for old time's sake, or we watched stuff like Night of the Comet.
I'm just laughing, thinking to myself that that's an interesting family popping on Hell Night for old time's sake.
Right? It's nostalgic, the player.
That's probably the closest to a nightmare I've ever had. But in my dreams, if I do encounter like zombies or monsters, which is very rare that I ever have anything like that, it's always like I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta glue down this seam on the edge of his mantle. You gotta hide that, So maybe in my brain just kind of diffuses any kind of nightmare scenario.
Yeah, it's like the mother, coming up on a zombie and, oh, here, let me lick my finger and clean off your cheek. The zombie's just like, huh? I mean, this is going much quicker than usual because most of the people that we've interviewed, there's a lot of stuff to dig into. But for you, it actually seems very simple that, you started
or good or like. No, I mean, it's similar to Sam's question too. I mean,
and I'm still the same now. I mean, I don't think I've changed too much. Like I still pick apart movies, more as like a learning thing. And I love watching bad movies as much as I love watching good movies, because I think you can learn a lot more from watching bad movies, learn others' mistakes and why they didn't succeed.
Right.
I've been doing a lot of that lately, actually. And what I find the most common one is boom mic placement.
Oh yeah.
It's like halfway across the frame. How did you? All right, never mind. Keep going. Yeah, bad movies are definitely a good source of entertainment and education.
Yeah. What is it? Dolomite.
Yeah.
The Rudy Ray Moore flick. Man, you could make a drinking game out of how many mics break film or break frame.
And get quite hammered by the end.
There's just a great kind of crew of people who are all really down to earth. And you'd think for a bunch of us who watch and work on the most kind of up movies that are out there in the underground, you'd think everyone would be a bunch of weirdos and sickos, but everyone's pretty fucking normal.
I was waiting for you to say, and you're right.
No.
No, fairly normal, but maybe up senses of humor.
Yeah. All of us kind of have gallows humor.
Yeah.
Or humor.
Which is perfectly fine, as long as you don't actually do those things. You just find them funny.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chris and I are friends on Facebook, and I'll send him stuff all the time. And once in a blue moon, I'll find something that I'm just like, I have to share this privately. I'm not even going to post that publicly. just stuff that makes you go, oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, no. I totally have a warped sense of humor. I don't know. I think that keeps people sane. I don't know. Not to be offended by everything. Everyone's so offended by things.
So yeah, come check us out over at horrormakeshappy.com or check out some of our other excerpts until you find someone whose interview you do want to hear.